In this video, I'm going to show some ideas I have which I really think should be added to Minecraft. I'll start with what I would call the director block, which could be just like an observer, but instead of detecting block updates, it would activate only when it's powered, a bit like a dispenser, and when it is powered, instead of a short on and off, it would stay on for as long as it's powered. So basically a repeater, but as a block and that you can phase up and down. Next would be something I would call the support cage, which could look a bit like scaffolding, and it could be able to hold redstone things on top of each other, which could be really useful. Next is something a lot of people want, blue redstone, which could be just like normal redstone, but it doesn't connect to any other redstone but blue redstone. If that was added, it would be very useful for making redstone machines much smaller. Finally, for the redstone things would be the vibration maker, because you can make machines that can detect all 15 individual types of vibrations, but there's nothing that can make all those types of vibrations. So the vibration maker would be able to make all 15 individual types of vibrations. If that was added, you could have machines send signals across themselves with no redstone wires, and the signals wouldn't mess with each other, which would be really cool. I also think there could be what I would call the glider, which would be able to fly and carry 4 players at a time. It could be quite slow so it's not too overpowered, and maybe it could only land in certain biomes, but it would still be useful for transporting multiple players long distances quite easily. I also think they could do a big updates to minecarts, like having 3D tracks, being able to connect minecarts together, and the actual carts could be bigger so they can fit more people. And they could also upgrade the furnace minecart so it could be able to pull other minecarts to make them go really fast, which would be really useful for going long distances. I also really think there should be an end update, which could have things like a new end biome, a new ore which could be better than netherite, and better shaped end islands that maybe even could be on top of each other, which would look really cool. There could also be a height update, which could have a much higher height limit and a much lower depth limit. Maybe you could even dig down to the nether, which could also be much bigger and higher, and maybe even fly up to the end, which could be really fun. I also have a cool mob idea for something called the chest monster. Sometimes in survival world you get things that people call chest monsters. Chest monsters is when you have a huge blob of really messy chest. The chest monster mob would be an idea which would be a mob that would look just like a chest. And when the game would detect there's a huge blob of messy chests, it would spawn the chest monster. And what it would do is it would sometimes take items from the chests, and then it would show its eyes, hop to another place, and then hide again, and then put the items it got from one chest into another, slowly making it more messy. But if you find out you've got a chest monster in your base, you can find it, and then you can tame it by giving it some kind of item which the chest monster likes. When it's chained, it will show its eyes so you know it's not another chest, and instead of making the blob of chests more messy, it will slowly tidy it up, which would be really cool. I can imagine some people would make an army of chest monsters, and then they could release it on a messy blob of chests, and after a few minutes, the tamed chest monsters could tidy it, which would be really cool. So those were all my ideas. If anyone from Mojang is watching them, please add them. And it's the end now, so bye 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 bye.